This horror episode was so disturbing, it got banned from TV. Let me tell you why. The story follows Christopher, an American journalist traveling through Japan, looking for Komomo, a lost girlfriend he had promised to rescue from prostitution. He arrives on a strange island filled with prostitutes and their masters. When he asked around about Komomo, a brothel worker tells him they never had a girl named Komomo in the island. As Christopher was about to go, the brothel worker said, "There's no more boat at that hour," and he had to stay for the night. With no way to leave until morning, he decides to stay and chooses a companion. There she was, escorted by a disfigured girl named Mitsuo. She told him that Komomo was there, but was falsely accused of stealing and tortured by the other prostitutes, and later then hanged herself after her lover never came for her. Christopher drowns his sorrow in sake. As he was falling asleep, he asked her for a bedtime story. The girl started to recount her life. She grew up poor. Her father was sick, and her mother, once a respected midwife, did her best to keep their family afloat. But when her father died, desperation forced her mother to sell her to a brothel. That's where she met Komomo. Unlike the others who mocked her appearance, Komomo was kind and the most popular girl to men. The madam and other girls hated her for it. When the madam's jade ring was stolen, they accused Komomo, who was then tortured to confess. After suffering hideously, she hanged herself in torment, tired of waiting for her lover. Christopher refuses to believe the story. He begs her to tell the truth. So the girl starts telling her life story again. This time the story shifts. Her father was actually abusive and alcoholic. Her mother provided illegal abortions and then sold her to a brothel to survive. She was taken in by a Buddhist priest who twisted her mind, making her obsessed with sin and damnation. She then confessed that she was the one who stole the jade ring and planted it on Komomo. Why she did it? Mitsuo framed Komomo because she believed suffering was the only way to save her. She had been raised to think that she was sinful and doomed to hell, and anyone close to her would be dragged down with her. But Komomo was too pure, too kind. She didn't deserve that fate. So in Mitsuo's twisted mind, the only way to save Komomo was to break their bond, to separate their fates. By framing Komomo for stealing the jade ring, she ensured that Komomo would suffer. She believed that pain and suffering would purify Komomo's soul, allowing her to escape damnation. But when Komomo still had hope and still believed someone would come for her, Mitsuo thought that hope would only lead to more suffering. So she ended Komomo's life herself, convinced it was the only way to set her soul free. Christopher is horrified, but the woman isn't finished. With a chilling smile, she lifts her hair, revealing a tiny deformed head on the palm of her hand. It speaks in Komomo's voice. "Why didn't you come for me?" Terror grips him. In a frenzy, he shoots her, but as she falls, her body changes. Komomo lies dead before him. Christopher is thrown into a Japanese prison and sentenced to death. His mind shatters. He no longer knows what is real.